637 hours. October 25, 1944. Something rises. Pagoda masts appear, one, then another, then more follow. Sprite checks the charts twice. Break time equals 500 mems, no mistake. The kill chain. Today we enter the waters off Samar Island. Here at the kill chain we trace decisions, not myths. 9 hours from now, a destroyer charges alone. It fires everything it has at a battleship. We'll return to that moment. First, the setup. 2 nights earlier, Admiral William Halsey made a choice. Halsey commanded the most powerful fleet afloat. 282 warships, 200,000 sailors. 3 days earlier, US forces sank the battleship Musashi. Halsey believed Kurita's center force neutralized. He was wrong. Then scouts found something bigger. Ozawa's carrier force. 4 carriers, 108 aircraft, nearly empty. Operation Sho-Go, deception built to sacrifice carriers. Ozawa knew. His pilots knew. They sailed anyway. What strikes us most, the bait worked completely. Halsey turned his entire fleet north to hunt. San Bernardino Strait, the gate behind him, undefended. You command the fleet, chase glory, or guard the strait. Halsey chose glory over the beachhead safety. Admiral Kincaid assumed battleships stayed behind. Wrong assumption. No one confirmed it. Fog of war already forming. Subscribe. We dissect every decision like this one. At 300, Kurita achieved total breakthrough. Battleships, cruisers, destroyers, 23 warships slit through unopposed. No American picket boats, no warning given. The question was no longer whether, but who. 40,000 soldiers on the beach had no idea. Aboard Yamato, sailors readied the 18-inch guns. 23 warships crept south in total silence. Meanwhile, 60 miles south, Taffy 3 slept. 6 escort carriers, converted merchant hulls, 18 knots. Rear Admiral Clifton Sprague commanded Task Unit 77.4-3. His ships were built for anti-submarine patrol only, not surface combat against the Imperial Japanese Navy. 3 destroyers screened the carriers, 4 destroyer escorts. 20 ships armed with 5-inch pea shooters essentially. At dawn, routine reconnaissance patrols lifted off deck. Ensign William Brooks flew the morning search pattern. Below, sailors ate breakfast. No alarm sounded. The war diary records calm seas, light wind. Nothing suggested 23 warships were an hour away. Here's the pattern interrupt. What would you assume? Kincaid intercepted radio chatter about Task Force 34. He assumed Halsey left battleships to guard the strait. He never confirmed it. Neither did anyone else. Remember that destroyer we mentioned? It charges soon. What would you have done in Kincaid's position? Comment below. The morning sea stayed flat, deceptively quiet. Kurita's force altered course, hugging Samar's coastline. Radar operators aboard Fanshaw Bay saw nothing unusual. Then at 6:37, everything changed in an instant. Here's what most histories miss. The sighting was accidental. Brooks wasn't hunting battleships. He was scouting submarines. Anti-aircraft bursts on the horizon caught his eye. Then he saw the pagoda masts, unmistakable silhouettes. Kincaid's assumption said the strait was guarded. It wasn't. What we know now, Halsey's account called the risk calculated. Historians still argue whether that calculation was reckless. Sprague radioed unidentified force bearing north, closing fast. He checked the identification charts, checked them twice. There was no mistake. This was Kurita's center force. The force's superior swore was neutralized. Sprague had 6 carriers, 3 destroyers, 9 minutes. No battleships, no cruisers, just like the Annihilation. He ordered the carriers to run, launch everything. Every plane in the air, every gun manned. Everything was about to change at once. Aboard Yamato, Lookout spotted smoke on the horizon. Kurita's staff debated. American fleet carriers or escorts? They guessed wrong. This looked like the real fleet. At 6:58, Yamato's main guns opened fire. 18-inch shells fired at a surface target, first time. Colored dye marked each ship's falling shells, green, yellow, red. The sea turned a strange psychedelic color instantly. Remember that torpedo charge? It starts right now. Sprague ordered smoke. His carriers vanished into fog. Every available aircraft scrambled, armed or not. USS Johnston's commander Ernest Evans made his decision. Evans told his crew, "This is a fighting ship." He was of Cherokee and Creek heritage. He ordered Johnston to charge the entire line. Alone, one destroyer close to 10,000 yards. 10 torpedoes fired at the cruiser Kumano. The strike blew off Kumano's bow entirely. Then Japanese shells found the Johnston's bridge. Evans lost 2 fingers. His shirt was torn off. He kept commanding from the fantail by voice. Of every act that day, this one haunts planners most. USS Samuel B. Roberts joined the impossible fight. A destroyer escort barely longer than a football field. She closed to 4,000 yards from Chokai. 2 5-inch guns against a heavy cruiser. Sailors nicknamed her the destroyer that fought like a battleship. 3 Japanese cruisers took fatal damage that morning. Chokai, Chikuma, Suzuya. Decimation of Kurita's cruiser screen. Gambia Bay took direct hits. Taffy 3's last stand intensified. Every thread was converging. The order came anyway. Gambia Bay became the only carrier sunk by naval gunfire. She went down at 9/7, hull torn open. Johnston, crippled, kept firing until her guns died. Johnston sank. Only 141 survived. Evans went down with his ship killed in action. He received the Medal of Honor posthumously. First Native American Navy officer so honored. Meanwhile, a message reached Halsey's flagship New Jersey. Nimitz asked, "Where is Task Force 34? Cryptographic padding turned the question into an insult. Turkey trots to water was meant as padding. The world wonders should have been stripped too. Only Halsey's decoder failed to remove it. Halsey read it as a deliberate cutting rebuke. He later wrote, "I was stunned, struck in the face." He threw his cap down and wept. Task Force 34 finally turned back south, too late. At 9:20, near total victory, Kurita ordered tactical retreat. No one in his own navy fully explained why. By 9:20, it ended as suddenly as it began. What strikes us most, Kurita never explained the choice. Post-war interrogations found no single Japanese explanation. Some say he believed he faced Halsey's main fleet. Others cite 2.5 hours of chaos. We may never know. What we do know, he turned. 4 American ships were lost that morning. Gambia Bay, Hoole, Johnston, Samuel B. Roberts, 792 dead, a costly attrition toll. Survivors drifted 2 days in shark-infested water. Rescue came October 27th. Many had already died. Exposure, thirst, sharks. The ocean claimed more men. This is the human cost the maps never show. This chaos forced a Doctrine rewrite, fleet communication protocol. No more ambiguous padding on time-critical combat messages. Escort carrier screening doctrine changed permanently after Samar. Decades on, historians call this the twilight of the battleship. Carrier air power ascended as the Navy's core arm. Ask yourself, would you have charged the battleship? The Naval War College still teaches this exact case. The declassified after-action report Sprague filed states this: the screen's sacrifice bought the landing force time. 3 cruisers crippled, an invasion fleet saved. The mismatch should have taken 20 minutes. It took 2.5 hours instead. Evans said he'd go in harm's way. He did. What's your assessment? Inevitable disaster or avoidable tragedy? The Naval History and Heritage Command calls it remarkable. Looking back, we verified these figures against 3 accounts: the War Diary, the After-Action Report, Survivor Memoirs. Each account differs slightly. None of them lies. 6 carriers held off Japan's last battle fleet. Full tactical breakdown pinned in the comments. What's your assessment? Subscribe. Next, we dissect Operation Mincemeat Audacious Deception.